Back in the 80s, Walt Disney Pictures was having a heck of a time. And by 80s, I suppose I also mean the late 70s. Walt had passed away, and the studio was having a great deal of trouble finding its roots. And certainly one of the things that was very popular in the 70s was Star Wars, which means that Disney wanted to take their own attempt at making a movie that we can only place in a category we call spaced out. Yes, today's Spaced Out, we are talking about that Disney pseudo-classic, The Black Hole, a movie that I had certainly heard about because of its part in helping to cripple the fortunes at Disney. This was a very expensive feature that did not make a big return on investment and was indeed Disney's attempt to knock off Star Wars. I had seen maybe the first 10 or 15 minutes of it before back in the day on the old video discs. And here's the thing, video disc is a medium that I have a lot of love for, as it's the home video medium that I grew up with. However, it is lousy. It is notoriously bad looking. And so that didn't help this movie, because the thing that Black Hole has the most going for is its visuals. I happened to see this on Turner Classic. It was introduced by Leonard Maltin as part of his continuing series of looking at more obscure Disney fare, and he talked about the feel of the movie, and I have to agree with him, that this movie feels very much like a 50s science fiction movie, which is, I think, the problem with it. Looking at it today, that doesn't really matter, right? Looking at it all these decades later, who cares if this movie, if you like a 50s movie, who cares if it feels like a 50s movie? But if you're watching this in the late 70s, early 80s, no doubt this movie feels enormously retrograde. So what do I mean by a 50s movie? Well, I mean, Black Hole really feels like Forbidden Planet. And Forbidden Planet is honestly one of my all-time favorite pictures. This isn't quite up to that level of Forbidden Planet, regardless of when it was made, but has that same sort of space explorers, kind of high-mindedness and scienciness, coming across a deluded scientist. It's a mad scientist movie. It's a mad scientist haunted house movie, but set in space. So a very 50s idea. Black Hole, however, is enhanced then by top-notch late 70s, early 80s special effects. And while the special effects in Forbidden Planet, for example, are a classic, a lot of those 50s movies don't have that. Black Hole has it in spades. So this is, if not a well-told story, a tremendous looking story. It's very entertaining. I also very much like the robots in this. Certainly an area where Disney felt like they could knock off Star Wars was with a pair of super cute robots voiced by the likes of Roddy McDowall and Slim Pickens. So you got a robot, well, this is more of a Mr. Haney, but you know what I'm talking about, flying around and talking like he's from the South. The movie also has an extremely surreal finale that kind of needs to be seen to be believed. And of course, there are also the threatening robots. Maximilian, pretty good robot. So Black Hole, real mixed bag. You notice I haven't talked about the human characters. That's because they are a real shrug. But still, Black Hole is a very mixed bag that because it was so entertaining, it's getting that extra little notch to make it 3.5 stars. And don't forget to visit our website, northmetrotv.com/everymovieever. There, you can watch reviews of every movie we've ever covered here on the show, as well as complete episodes. That's northmetrotv.com/everymovieever.